Also, I want to remind you guys, like, after they drop the checks and everything and whatnot, like, you'll be able to hang out for about like half hour or so. Like, final calls around like 10, so you don't have to worry about rushing to pay your bill or anything like that. You can hang out and chill, it's a party, right? A party, on a Tuesday night. It's gonna be nuts, it's gonna be great. Going to work all hungover, the way the Lord intended, fantastic. Folks, the final comic of the evening. An amazing person. An amazing comic. Written for Morgan Spurlock. Written on last week tonight with John Oliver. One of the nicest people in comedy. One of the funniest people I know. Seriously, no joke. And she makes an amazing Pernell. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up!
So I know those last two comics thought kids were really annoying, and oh my God, wait till you hear what I have to say. So I'll do my customary, hey, does anybody here have kids? So you need to understand, this is the only place that ever fucking happens, because no one else who has kids can leave their house. Every comedy club, you're like, anybody here has kids? There's like one woman who's like, oh, and you're like, how old's your kid? She's like, 31. Cool, she still pee the bed? Yeah, sometimes, yeah. We're like, it's fine, they do grow out of it, I swear. It's just hard to be, the first 31 years are the hardest, but it gets a lot easier later, I swear. I don't know what I'm talking about, but no one who has children does. Oh my God, so like my life, literally, my adult life was split into like 10 years of doing stand-up comedy all the time, and then 10 years of raising children, because I only do things that are emotionally exhausting. It's easy and fun, I am not interested. But there was a little bit of crossover, where I had a kid, but I was trying to do stand-up. Don't bother. But I remember still the first time I got on stage after having my first son, and the host who knew I was pregnant, he was like, so how do you want me to bring you up to the stage? And I was like, whatever you do not mention that I had a baby. Because if he brings me up and if he goes, ladies and gentlemen, this last comic just had a baby, then I have to get on stage and talk about having a baby. Which I have been going through for 2 weeks, and I can tell you the first 2 weeks of having a baby, nothing funny has happened. So I was like, whatever you do, just don't tell them I had a baby. He was like, no problem. I got you. I got you. And so the other comic finishes, the host goes up, and he says, ladies and gentlemen, this next comic just lost a lot of weight. What do I say now? I don't have 10 minutes. I was like, have you guys been trying diet and exercise? Because the best way to lose weight fast, you're just gonna wanna blow it out your vagina and drink it. It's how you do it. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Ozempic, I did a soul cycle. No. Blow it out your vagina. I lost 11 pounds in 4 seconds. But yeah, I was like, so that is my weight loss tip that I now have to give to people who bring me up like that. Just blow it out your vagina. You will look not great. Because you're going to blow out a lot of blood vessels in your face. They don't tell you that. But you absolutely are going to blow out a lot. Giving birth is like being hit by a car, except that no one's acknowledging that you've been hit by a car, which is really weird. It's almost like you're in the hospital and the doctor's like, hey, hi, can you see me? Cool. You have been in a horrible car accident. Normally in these conditions, we would absolutely actually going to send you home tomorrow as the primary caregiver for someone else who was also in a hard car accident. It's just something we're trying. Here are some mesh panties and a squirt bottle. We think you should be fine. But let us know. I wrote a book about what it's like to have a young child that actually doubles as a book to convince people not to have children. I realized later that wasn't the intent. Actually, the book did well, but my favorite review is a 1-star review on Amazon. You can go find it. It says, "This book made me question whether pregnancy was a wise choice." And I want to be like, you're welcome. For my accurate critique, I'm sorry to get you earlier. I'm doing my best, knowing from the United States. The book was also translated into Mandarin Chinese, which I thought was great because China is notoriously hesitant to allow in a lot of American ideas, but they are also very invested in keeping the birth rate down. And I was like, oh yeah, someone in the government definitely saw this, and they were like, oh. So just hear me out. We have tried decades of a very oppressive one-child policy. Have we ever tried just telling people what it's like? With illustration? Because it is so hurting. I don't know what I envisioned when I thought about parenthood, but I definitely wasn't picturing like myself in a parking lot yelling the words, "What did I say? We never put our mouth on a cat." I had to say that real thing like 3 times. And someone once was like, well, why was he putting stuff? I don't know! That's the whole problem. I don't know if I can get the logic behind it. And not every kid is crazy. I mean, but like, before having kids, if I wanted to see something batshit insane, I had to ride public transit just like everyone else. But like now it just comes to me. Yeah, but I spent the entire pandemic in 900 square feet with someone who put a tangerine to his ear and insisted he could hear the ocean. Good, do whatever calms you down. That's great. You want to know? I can hear it. I can in the kitchen. I can listen to it all my own time. I hated being pregnant, just not. Sorry, I should say, I hated being pregnant. A lot of people would be like, oh, was pregnancy magical? Pregnancy was not magical. Hogwarts is magical. Disney is magical. Pregnancy is like a gritty Korean horror drama that I would be like very hesitant to recommend to people that I do not know that well. It gets dark. I would talk about that on stage, and I would have people come up to me afterward, like women, very apologetically, again, which is how women are, and they'd be like, I'm so sorry, I actually loved being pregnant. And I always had to be like, that's fine. I'm not mad at you, but they were just so, I mean, it's okay for us to feel, I didn't feel like enough people were saying that this was terrible, so I decided to say that. So then after that I go up and I feel like, I do not like being pregnant, but some people love it, and that's okay. Some people love being pregnant, that's okay. Some people like being peed on during sex. That's also fine. That is my thing. Obviously, if I had to pick between the two, I would pick being peed on. Would be in the same place. Which is like kind of an important thing, I'm just gonna say. A lot of people feel like they're not ready to have kids, and they're right, they're not. No one ever has been in the history of time. But I remember one friend who told me, she was like, I want to wait until I'm like emotionally ready and financially ready. before I have kids. And like, good luck to her getting pregnant in her 70s. And in fairness, I will take half of that back. No one is ever emotionally ready to have kids. There are some people who are financially ready, and I hate them so much. I lived in Jersey City when I had my first son. I was in a mom's group with like a lot of normal moms, and then some moms who were just fucking loaded. I don't even understand, but they still wanted to like vent about having a baby. So they just be like, oh, they have a full-time nanny. They have full-time nannies and be like, oh my God, wasn't childbirth the worst? Don't you wish the stork delivered babies? And I'd have to be like, no, because I don't live in a doorman building. I don't even get my regular packages. It's like the last thing I need is a bird testing all my neighbors' doorbells. 2 p.m. on Wednesday. You're like, first attempt. Drop it off. You're home. Oh no, like truly at this point in the parenting journey, we know what I know now. If a bird in an Amazon vest showed up with a baby, I would be like, I'm not going to sign for that. I'm absolutely not signing for that. I'm older now, I'm wiser. I was a really innocent kid. I learned a lot of what I learned about sex at church camp when I was 11, which I do not recommend. Any of it. Like going to church camp, learning about sex there, being 11, just not a fan. Just skip it. You can skip those. But the thing I loved about this church camp is you got to ride horses. And I don't know if you guys have met an 11-year-old girl, but you got to ride horses and feed farm animals. And that I was like, okay, it's fine, just send me. Ride horses and feed farm animals, and ride horses and feed farm animals. And I was like, all right, I'm a little rebellious. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to ride one of these farm animals. Yeah, I know. And so I was like, oh, it'll be cute, I'll ride this cow, because cows aren't that fast, and it'll be fine. Spoiler alert, has anyone ever seen cows are so fucking fast? So, and this is a completely true story. The cow takes off with me on it, and I can't get off, because my feet are off the ground now, and all I keep thinking as it's walking away from all the campers and counselors is my mom was like, if you ever get kidnapped, don't let them take you to a second location. Another cow, and I really want to stress this was not a bull, we were all kids allowed to be, this is another cow follows us, it jumps up and mounts the cow that I'm sitting on, which is still running. So that cow is running, I am sitting regretting this decision so much, and the other cow is running behind us on 2 legs, with other legs like this, like the fucking beast from Pan's Labyrinth, with me in the middle, and we just all this grunting. And this happened, then of course the counselors put me on the cow, the other campers like, we're going to explain everything that just happened. And I don't think about that story like I did for years and years, but then it would come up when I was in my 20s, when I was in New York, and dating, because we were dating online people. Crazy shit behind closed doors. And I would have people messaging me being like, so Raquel, have you ever been involved in a threesome? And they, of course, would be like, threesome, like when you and 2 other people, I'd be like, oh, people! Gross. No, I have never been involved in a threesome, but if they were like, Raquel, have you ever been involved in a 3-creature sex act that involved bestiality, pedophilia, lesbianism, and rape? I would have to be like, well, this one time at church camp when I was 11, my safe word was moo. and they're just fucking bonkers, obviously. All kids are crazy. I think mine are like really kind of pushing the edge of what's normal. But I have one kid would like constantly come in the middle of the night, like not when you're supposed to go to sleep, and they're like, I don't want to go to sleep. And kids are always like, I don't want to go to sleep. It's like, oh, can I have a drink of water? Oh, it's 11:30. I have to go to the bathroom. Oh, I had a bad dream. So my kid, he was 6 at the time. I was in bed trying to fall asleep. He came in and he was like, hey, mama, what's the worst way to die? I'm going to read this verbatim because I never want to mess it up. He literally came into my room at 11:30 at night, 6 years old, and he said, what's the worst way to die? Your body explodes, just the regular way, or a demon steals your soul. And I was like, okay, so first off, it's your own kid, you know your own kid. And I was like, I 100% know the answer he wants me to say, which is, demon steals your soul. Demon steals, you know it! He was like, come on, say it, demon steals your soul. I also know the correct answer, which is, go to bed. 100% go to bed. However, I can't say that because I have to address the elephant in the room, which is, what's just the regular way? And he said, verbatim, he said, you know, just the regular way, like, boop, you're dead. And as a parent, I was kind of excited that he said, because like, as a parent, I am trying so hard to protect these kids from all the crazy shit out there and all these weird things, and like, the world is really scary. So the fact that he thinks that when people fucking die, it makes the same sound that I make when I touch a dog on the nose. I was like, this is great, I'm totally on board with this. Just like the other day, when Maggie Smith died, in my head I was just like, boop. Kirsten Stuyvesant, boop, boop. My oldest was doing this whole report on the Black Plague, and the whole time I was like, boop, boop, boop. I almost want my youngest to become a doctor, just so he can be like, time of death, 10:15, cause of death, just the regular way. I've been here 30 years, 99% of deaths are just the regular way. And so I know you must be craving, but here, take this tangerine, you put it in your ear, you can hear the ocean. I have always found them calming. He's 8 now, he really loves beautiful stuff. He loves looking fancy, he loves beautiful clothes, and he is so disgusted and horrified by everything that I own. I can't even, he's very polite about it, but I can see the pain that I'm causing him. The other day we were leaving the house, he took 40 minutes to pick out an outfit, which he then explained to me why I was like, you're 8, I get it. And then he looked at what I was wearing, which is the shirt that I had slept in, and he said, and what's this? Are you ready to explain yourself? Some of us are taking a lot of care. He calls all my clothes Mr. Stuff, which is very humbling. Although, not your Mr. Stuff, that's fine. He's like, that's fine, that's okay for you. Because I'm not very into fashion. Even the first 2 seasons of Project Runway, I just assumed it was about planes. And I never noticed fashion. If fashion's really over the top, I'll see it. When I used to live in Brooklyn, there was this woman who used to wear a floor-length fur coat with a fanny pack over it. And I was like, that is either the craziest fashion faux pas or the best kangaroo costume. So talented. During the pandemic, he'd come into my room and he would lead me toward the one nice outfit that I own. And he'd stand under it and go, today? What about this? Every day to the same, and I'd be like, that is so nice, but I just don't know if I want to wear that lace with my bridesmaid dress on 4 hours of Zoom calls. But I'll think about it. I'll definitely think about it. I really do hardcore with this. I didn't realize how much I love Mr. Stuff until my kids pointed it out to me. I was in the city with a friend, and I never say this, but there was a really cute bag in a window, and I went, oh my god, that's a really cute bag. And my friend was quiet for a minute, and then she said, Raquel, that is a bag for fishing tackle. fishing lure. I do understand that now. I'm just saying that they are not incompatible. A fishing tackle bag can be beautiful. This is the thing. I said to my son when he was like 4 years old, so I wanted to get in early. This is a very kind of sweet, weird, true story. But I wanted to say, I was like, look, just make sure you always like whatever you like. I was like, it is okay for boys to like beautiful stuff. It is okay for boys to want beautiful stuff. And he, at 4, took his little tiny hand and put it on my shoulder, and he said, and it's okay for mamas to wear all the ugly mister stuff. And I was like, you are 4 and you just burned me at like an 8th grade level. I was like, that's it? Oh my God. But we went to a wedding was it last year? And I even made a point, I said, I want you to wear something to this wedding. I want you to wear something that makes you feel comfortable, okay? Like it doesn't have to be white, just wear something that makes you feel comfortable. And we were in the store, and he came up to me with what was a neon orange, like, leotard with attached to it. It was like an off-the-shoulder sweatshirt attached to the leotard. And he handed it to me and he said, I feel really comfortable in this. What is this? And I was like, that is a bag for fishing tackles. And I'm so sorry you cannot wear it to a wedding. Oh my God. I will end with this. Obviously I'm trying to keep them away from like weird people. There's a lot of weird, so we're very careful with the internet. I'm just like, be careful on the internet, please be careful on the internet. Like there are so many weird fucking people on the internet. Yes, it is also where I met your dad. And I understand. I get how that can be confusing for you, but just but my favorite story actually of someone who I did not meet on the internet because I did not wind up meeting him. But when I used to online date, I would talk to a lot of people, and I remember one guy who did not have a photo up. And we were talking, and like almost right away, he was just like, hey, do you want me to send you a picture? And I was like, yeah, sure. And for those of you who want to online date, if anyone ever says, hey, want me to send you a picture, don't say, yeah, sure, say, of what? If you take one lesson away, just say, of what? And you guessed half of what happened. So he sent me a picture of his erect penis with a parrot standing there. In this message said, so, what'd you think? Are you interested? And I was like, wow. On a psychological level, I am very interested in why you would send that to me or anyone. Even if I wanted a picture of just your regular penis, which for the record, did not. The parrot! The parrot is trying to take any sexuality totally out of the picture. That's like if I send you a picture of my vagina with a prairie dog coming out of it. Oh, you're right, I see, turn around, I don't want that. So of course every friend was like, you don't write back to this person. Do not write back to him. So of course I wrote back to him. Of course I did. And I was like, dear Mark, if you are, as you say, a 38-year-old man who, in response to a photo request, sent me a picture of his dick with a parrot on it, no, I do not want to meet you for coffee. However, if you are just like an incredibly computer-literate parrot, picture you have of yourself. You happened, one time college happened to be standing on some random guy's erect penis. I would love to meet her. Here's my number, give me a or whatever you guys do.
Give it up for all your time. Give it up for Raquel.